Guys, what's up? In my last video I have shared how to create a Flutter package and how can you use your locally developed Flutter package in your Flutter application. So today I'll be sharing more details on how you can create a Flutter plugin, essentially how to communicate with the underlying native platform. So for today I'll be demonstrating a simple communication between native Android and Flutter. Also I'll be showing you how we can create a Flutter plugin and integrate the same feature in the plugin. So if you have a look at this diagram, there on the left side, this is platform. The platform we will be running our app on. For this case I'll be running on Android today, so the platform is Android and Flutter is on the right side. So what happens is Flutter uses the underlying platform to draw your application on the screen. So it is indeed possible to communicate between these two components, and from Flutter you can call a method, pass some data to native, and the same thing you can do from native also. You can call a Flutter method and you can receive some data from there also. So in order to achieve this thing, we need to create a channel for communication between these two components. So there are two types of channel can be created. First one is method channel and the second one is event channel. So for method channel you can invoke a method on either of the component and you can receive receive a data one time as a normal method, as you will be calling. So you call a method, you receive a data, that's it. But if you need to stream data continuously, you need to create an event channel. Today I'll be sharing you how to create this method channel and pass some data from native to Flutter. If you want to learn more on this one, please put a comment and I'll create a video on that part that you would like to learn more. Yeah, so let's get back to the code. Okay, so in my last video I have shared how to create a package, and the package was counter. This package only had this Dart codes. So, our goal is to create a channel between native and Flutter and pass some data between them. Yeah, so okay. For this one we need to refactor this a bit. Before that, let's create a device info Dart file, because what I'll be doing is I'll be getting the Android device information from native. So the file name device info screen, it will be a stateful file, it will be a stateful widget. Okay, let's make it stateful. Okay, now this will be a screen. We will have an app bar and this device information. Yeah, so this is just a placeholder that is auto completed for us. Yeah, now this is device information and we'll have another text waiting for the info. Yeah, okay. Now in our main.dart we'll be returning device screen instead. So I'll be running this application is running. Okay, so we created this. Now the first important thing of creating a method channel is you need to define a channel name. So you define a channel name, you obtain an instance of the channel in Flutter and Android both, then you start listening to that channel. Yeah, so let's do that. In our case, we have this device screen. Now let's create a method channel here. So this is the basic one I'll be showing. This is not the best practice, just for helping you understand this communication. I'm creating it here, but in real life do not do this in your production app. Yeah, okay. So we have channel, method channel. We need to import it, and we need to give it a unique name for this channel. So I have chosen device info because I don't have any other channel, only this one, so there's no possibility of conflict. So I created this channel, device info. Now in the init state, what I'll be doing is I'll be calling a method info method, and the method name should match both places, both in Flutter and in Android or iOS or any other platform you implement this plugin to. There should be exact match, and it's case sensitive. Yeah, so method name is get device info, and we also need to, it's not need, it's optional, but you should define the return type of this method. Okay, so invoke method. Then once we receive the data, what we'll be doing is I'll just call a set state. We need to have a text for this also, so let's create a text, and the device info is currently empty. So instead of empty, let's put it here, use it there, and use the device info on the screen. And about the set state, we do this, we update the device info that we receive from calling this method here. Now let's retry or to restart the app. Yeah, so we got this exception, says missing plugin exception, no implementation found. So how this works is, as we are running this application in an Android device, we supposed to provide a Android implementation of the same method, Android, iOS, and other files. So for this one I'll be focusing on Android. So if you open this Android folder, you have this app, source, main, and this main activity file. Yeah, so if you need to write any Android related code, you need to do it here and hook it with this Flutter activity and Flutter engine. Yeah, so we need to create a channel here, the exact same channel here, and we need to listen to this method called get device info, because Flutter will be calling this method to receive more data, expect more data. Yeah, and one other thing is I'm using IntelliJ, and you can open this Android folder as a Android project. Open this, and this and this is the file that I have here. Now I need to create the channel here, method channel. Now this main activity, you have a method that says configure Flutter engine, so we need to override configure Flutter engine, and we create instance of the channel. So what I said is, remember to create the same channel meaning the channel name should be the same in both Android and in Flutter, the same here. And we need to listen to the set method handler. So we have this, if the method name is device info, this one gets called. So we receive a string type of data model. Need to clean up this method. So on data from Flutter engine, we set the method call handler to null. What we can expect is, we'll see this Android device and the model text is displayed on the screen. Okay, let's wait for it. Okay, so the device name is Redmi Note 7 Pro. This one we are getting from the method channel. Yeah, declared a channel in both places, a channel with the same name, device info, both in Android and in Flutter. And we set a method call handler in Android so that we can pass the data. Okay, that's it. We'll be creating a plugin package. Let's create one. Flutter create. I can specify the language that Android plugin will be created later on. So for Android the language is Kotlin, and for iOS it should be Swift. So let's wait for it. So in this device info, what do we have here? Power spec is the same. We only have this platform interface. Here is the Flutter codes, and in the iOS there is this iOS plugin code, and in Android you need to write the plugin code inside the Android and iOS directory of your plugin actually, because the host applications code you don't have access to it. Yeah, here is this setup code, and there is this method that is defined, which will be implemented by method channel, actually method channel class. So this is where we need to modify a bit. Get device info. Initially this is not implemented, it's supposed to throw a unimplemented error. And in this method channel we create a channel, get device info. Here we call this and reuse it here. Invoke method, this is, so it says cannot be written. Let's put a default value if this is null here. No device info available. Let's make this a set. Yeah, so no device info available, that we did. And we need to make changes in this device info file here. Get device info. Okay, to get device info we set up this platform interface, we set up this method, we set up this screen. No, we did not set up this screen. So what we do here is, we don't need this channel anymore. We can just before we create this, we need to integrate this device info plugin in our code base. So we can do that using power split device info, and the path should be this. Let's create let's do pubget, then we straight away create the instance of the plugin. Device info plugin, okay, the plugin is created. Now instead of calling this method directly, what you can do is you can call this info method get device information and do this. Previously we have written the native platform channel code in an activity, but now as we are developing a plugin, we need to do it in a plugin class. Once you create the plugin, we have this attached to engine, which has this device info method, and the method call handler is this. So we override this, and there's this get platform version. This we don't have. So if we have a look at our Dart code, the method name was get device info. Here method name should be changed. Model. This was our previous response. So we're doing this from here, and I will remove the code from main activity because we don't need that anymore. Main activity can stay empty because we have delegated the task of creating a channel, listening to it, to this plugin. Okay. I need to stop this application and run this, otherwise it will not be reflected in our application as we are building a Flutter plugin. Okay, so this application is running now, and you can see the device model with Android text here in our screen. So this is how you should create a plugin for Flutter, and you can write platform specific code in these specified folders. For Android it should be in Android folder, and for iOS there is a similar class device info plugin, so you can update it here and it will do the same for iOS. Okay, so I'll put the part 1 creating a package video link in the description, and I will put the repository link also in the description. If you learned something today, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel.